have to start securing your data, your corporate data from within, because the threat lies within. The same survey, I found a very interesting piece of information there, so I thought I'll share, is that the data security, financial industry is the topmost. 33% of the breaches happen in the financial industry. So again, money is the most important thing. So financial industry is going to impact. So that's one of the piece of information that is very important. When we talked about the considerations, when we are talking about the corporate data, what is also important is the mediums. Why the mediums are important is that we got to understand that if I have to control or if I have to secure something, the mediums through which that particular thing can go in or out is extremely. We put the locks on our doors because that's the medium for us to go in or come out. The same way when we are talking about the data, we got to make sure that the medium that we are talking about is within our control. You cannot close the medium, but you have to control the medium. So what are the mediums we are talking about? It's very common to have web access. It's very common, everybody has the PC synchronization. I can synchronize my mobile device with my PC very easily these days. Just plug the cable and you're done. You've got the Bluetooth, one of the best inventions, but at the same time, one of the pretty dangerous thing. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, LAN and WAN. You go anywhere, you have the Wi-Fi hotspots available. You put on your mobile, search for the Wi-Fi hotspot, and you have got at least 3 to 4 of them listed. Some of them are secure, some of them are unsecure. You connect to an unsecure mode and you have access to the internet. So Wi-Fi is equally dangerous. Of course, it is a boon because you go on the way, you are going to have the internet. WiMAX is something which many of the cities in India, Pune, Bangalore, I believe they have tried, where on the go, the city provides you the internet. That's the WiMAX which is coming. Physical memory, we all know about the USB pen drives. We all know about the SD cards. And last but not the least, your mobile devices. They themselves are carriers of a lot of data. So your voice, your text, your video, every data that you want can be put onto your mobile devices. And mobile devices, the penetration of mobile devices in the past 10 years in India is something what is alarming. And that is what is going to be a very big challenge for the corporate data, because you may be able to restrict, because these are the mediums that we are talking about. There have been instances, there are corporations who have got firewalls. Cisco provides excellent devices by which you can protect your corporation's systems. You can block the USB devices, you can block the SD card slots by putting up a operating system level policy. Those are the kind of blocks or kind of restrictions that are available on computers that are getting used in a corporation. But the mobile devices is something which we are going to now focus upon, because that's what is the biggest challenge for the corporate data. So using mobile devices has become a very, very common thing. Teenagers also have mobile devices and they talk about smartphones, they talk about Android-based phones. People are very easily able to buy that because it's become a common practice to have a phone. And when you have a phone, you need to have a good one. And parents are also that liberal that they would provide the mobile phones to them. So think of a time just 5 years down the line when people like you are probably working as a legal head of a corporation, and there is a new joinee in your organization who comes with 2 mobiles in the hand and he has got both of them. One of them is an Android, the other one is a BlackBerry. How are you going to deal with that person if that person has Twitter, Facebook, every damn thing installed on that particular device? Now that's what is the challenge to the corporate data. That's what is the challenge where the media that we are talking about over the air, that's what is important here, that it's not seen. You see cables when you connect to the PCs, when you connect to the laptops, you see network cable, you see everything. Even if there is a Wi-Fi, you see the switch which is put in your corporation. But with a mobile device, GPRS on, How do you know that whether that person is subscribing to GPRS or not, whether that person has got access to GPRS or not? So everything is happening over the air. And this over the air is something which is one of the most challenging media, and that is what we have to use in the interest of the data. We have to use this same over the air to make sure that we put the restrictions also over the air. Because that is extremely important, that to restrict something, to restrict a mobile device, you cannot use cables. You will have to use something which the mobile devices understand. So these are all the facts which I have collected, but one of you must be knowing this. The penetration of the mobile devices is more than the television sets in India. So that is something which is extremely dangerous or extremely good for the country, whatever, because technology brings its own challenges, any development brings its own challenges. So we have to learn to deal with those challenges, and that's what we have to make sure that, how to make sure that there is a smartphone which is available for 3,500 rupees. Now 3,500 rupees in today's world for even medium, at a mid-level family is not a very big challenge. So you are going to find people, millions of people carrying these kind of devices everywhere, on the road, in the bus, in your corporation. So that is what we need to make sure that how we challenge. And the beauty is that these guys know internet from the mobile. They don't know that internet is available on the laptop also. They don't know that internet is available from the PC, because the first time in their life they have seen internet is on the mobile. And that's the generation we are talking about, which we are going to face. And add to that the introduction of the tablets. Now we are talking about a bigger challenge, because the mobile device is a smaller one, the tablet is a bit larger one. You have the new tablets, the Akash, everybody knows, in 14 days, 14 lakh bookings. That's alarming. 2,500 rupees for the Akash tablet. And the delivery is going to start this month, I believe in 2 weeks of time. Now 3 months, 4 months down the line, you are going to have millions of people carrying these tablet devices. Akash tablet, having Android, having a Wi-Fi capability, having a GPRS through the SIM card. Each one of them will have this, they are going to play with that. So that's what is the challenge we are talking about. And how do you, like, why people get used to these things? And we know that because it is cheap. GPRS is cheaper than having computer internet at home. And you don't have to put on a computer, you don't have to wait till it boots, you don't have to shut down because your dad is going to say, please shut it down before you go to sleep. Mobile device is something nobody is going to ask you. Just click on the browser and the GPRS is on. If your Wi-Fi is on at home, you don't have to even enter the key. So everything is fast. Like my wife calls it the Maggie generation, 2 minutes. So everything is needed in zap. And that's what we are looking at. That's what is the future. And that's where the corporate data is going to be very critical for corporations. And you guys, how you guys come into picture is something which I surely would like to try and analyze or try and speak about that how the law comes into picture. Because you can probably enforce the policy, you can make sure that the corporation or the corporate data is compliant. People who are using the data by any of the means, any of the kind of devices, like as the law in India very clearly mentions that you can access data using any of the devices, and even that access, if it has got dishonesty or if it is done in a wrong way, you are subject to a lot of fine and imprisonment. But as law enforcement or sort of the cure to the problem that we are talking about, you guys will need to understand that the technology that we are talking about, which is coming through